Back from what do we call it? Like winter gone or winter thong or winter. Like I'm trying to make like a name. Snow days. Snow day. It was just a dusting. All right. So here we go, guys. So winter gone. Yeah. We didn't have 100% mastery of this, so hopefully this helps. I hope it helps. You guys will tell me. Yeah, some of you got it already down. The graph of the function. So we're going to go two ways. So here you go. I have a g of x picture to the right, and it wants me to identify certain characteristics of g prime, the derivative. So it says on the intervals where, so they wants me to label the intervals where g prime is negative. Well, g prime is negative whenever g is decreasing. And I know that you decrease on an interval, but for the purposes of this, it says g prime less than 0, I'm just going to put everything in parentheses. So g prime is negative on, let's see, from on negative 4 comma all the way to negative 2, and 1 comma all the way to infinity, since g of x is decreasing on these specific intervals. Usually we like to say the other way around, g of x is decreasing because g prime is negative, but we'll allow it. And I know some of you are saying, Charles, shouldn't you be putting brackets? Well, yes, but because I'm trying to make this statement, we're kind of going backwards here. So I didn't put brackets on anything. You would have been okay to say you're decreasing between negative 4 and negative 2 with a bracket on it. But, I don't want to rewrite because g prime is negative on open parenthesis, negative 4 to negative 2. Hopefully that makes sense. This is perfectly fine. Cool or not cool? Cool. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and color code this. So let me write this one in blue. G prime is positive whenever this graph here, which is G, is increasing. Good. Now they're on at the same time. So I'm going to write g prime of x is greater than 0 on parenthesis negative infinity all the way to negative 4, and negative 2 all the way to 1, since g of x is increasing on these specific intervals. Like I said earlier, guys, usually it's the other way around. You say the statement first that you're increasing because g prime is positive, but here we're forcing you. We're telling you where's g prime negative, where's g prime positive. It doesn't necessarily say to justify, but we put in there. We're okay. And I wouldn't necessarily call it justification because, if your tangent slopes are positive, then obviously g is increasing. If your tangent slopes are negative, then g is decreasing. All right, the value of x where g prime is 0. G prime, let me go back to, let me just do a neutral color. G prime of x equals 0 at x equals, let's see, I have this minimum there, or maximum there, sorry, negative 4 and negative 2 and 1. X equals negative 4, negative 2, and 1. And maybe I didn't do proper English. That's where I have max and mins. By the way, you don't necessarily need to have a max or min. All you need to do is have a horizontal tangent. Chuck, can you give me an example? Yes. See, this point right there, that's also where g prime could have been 0. And notice it's not a max or a min. You just have a horizontal tangent. Cool or not cool? Okay, so in conclusion, here's what we gotta know. If g prime is positive, g is increasing. If g prime is negative, g is decreasing. You guys already know that. If g prime changes from positive to negative, what does that mean for g? G has a, if g prime changes from positive to negative, g has a what? Has a what? Has a max. G has a max. If G prime changes from positive to negative, I should say at x equals c, right? So let me add that. At x equals c, that's a c for a specific x value. G has a max at x equals c. And then let me write the same thing, but for changes from negative to positive, I'm going to do it in blue here. So you can tell that it's a different sentence. If G prime changes from negative to positive at x equals c, comma, G has a what? Has a min at x equals c. And that's those are the big deals. And no yawning, that's the merit. Okay. No, you're good, miss. Okay. Are you not entertained? Okay. Here we go. This time I graph a derivative graph. The graph of the derivative h prime is given below. Identify the following characteristics about the function h of x and give a reason for your responses. So this is more than likely how it's going to really be. What graph is this again? So put h prime in there. Where is h of x increasing? Anytime h prime is positive, and it's positive wherever you see red right there. So I'm going to write h of x, and some of you aren't being specific. You use the word it. It is increasing. Excuse me. H of x is increasing on parenthesis negative 2 comma all the way to 1. Technically, I should put brackets, but today's one of those days where I don't want. Well, okay, I'll just leave it. H of x is increasing on negative 2 to 1 and 3 to infinity, since h prime of x is positive on those specific intervals. Does that make sense, guys? Are we okay? Okay. All right, Kandura? Let the record show that Kandura does not approve. In the interval where is h of x decreasing? By not doing anything, you're doing something. I'll stop. Wherever you see that in blue, so I'm going to write h of x, so let's be specific, is decreasing on negative infinity all the way to negative 2, and from 1 all the way to 3, since h prime of x is negative, you can also say less than 0, is negative on these specific intervals. Are we okay? Okay. The value of x where h of x has a relative max. You have a max when the derivative h prime changes from what to what? So where does that occur? Yep. Max, I guess let's be specific. H of x has a max at x equals 1. And it doesn't ask for the reason, but I'm going to put the reason here in parentheses. H prime changes from positive to negative at x equals 1. The value of x where h of x has a relative min. I have a min where my derivative changes from what to what? And that happens where? Negative 2 and 3. So there it is. So I'm going to write h of x has a min at x equals negative 2 and x equals 3, since h prime changes from negative to positive at those specific x values. Perfect. Yay. Don't worry, miss. We'll be done right now, miss, in a little bit. All right. Next one. If h is negative 1 equals a half, what is the equation of the tangent line for h of x at x equals negative 1? What two things do I need for a tangent line, guys? A point and a slope. Do I have a point? I don't even know which one to say first. This is my point, guys. That's a point right there. Your point is negative 1 comma 1 half. Recognize that. Do I have a slope? Yes, this is your h prime graph, guys. So where am I going to go? I'm going to go to negative 1. And negative 1, what's your slope? 5. That's the AP score that we want. So yeah, guys, we've had this question before in an exam, and you guys would miss it. So that's why it's in here. So here's your equation. So you know what? Let me go ahead and write that. H prime of negative 1 equals 5. All right. Y minus point slope form. Y minus a half equals 5 parenthesis x plus 1. There it is. That's your tangent line in point slope form. You don't have to have it in point slope form, but I recommend you leave it like that because if you make an algebraic mistake, it's possible that it could be wrong. Are we okay? All right, don't worry, guys. We're almost done. So now here we're just trying to make connections. So let's see what it says. So we know the deal between the relationship of f prime and f. Yeah, because that's what we just did. Since the second derivative is the first derivative of f prime, that just means take the derivative of f prime, right? Then the same relationships that exist between f and f prime must exist between f prime and f double prime. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so check it out. Let's see if we can figure this. I guess first let's talk about this. Look, this is notice, and I'm going to call that f. And here is the big deal. So look, here are my tangent lines. Tangent line, tangent line, tangent line, tangent line, tangent line. So I'm saying like this is like f prime negative 10, f prime, I don't know, that looks like negative 2, f prime that looks like 0, f prime 2, f prime 10. Look what's happening to your f prime, guys. Negative 10, negative 2, 0, 2, 10. What's happening to those numbers? Perfect. They're increasing. And notice, look at the concavity of f. Don't worry, Magia, we're almost done. Look at the concavity of f. What is f? It's concave what? Concave up. So if f prime is increasing, that creates concave up on f. Do you guys notice that? If f prime is increasing, that also means that f prime prime is positive. See? So that's the big, like what's the big blah, 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 whatever, the big picture. It's that, guys. It's that. Look, boom, boom, boom. Sorry, I don't know what's the difference between a boom and a pam. F prime equals negative 8. F prime equals negative 4. F prime equals 0. F prime, did I say that? Call that negative? Man, look at me. That's all positive slopes. 8, 4, 0, negative 4, and negative 8. Look at what's happening now with the F primes. 8, 4, 0, negative 4, negative 8. What's happening to the F primes now? They're decreasing. So if I call this F, and now that we say that F prime is decreasing, that's also the same thing as saying F prime prime being negative, and that's what creates your concave down graph. Does that make sense? Okay. Now that we've done all that, we can put it in a nice little picture here. If F prime prime is, this is saying positive, so write the word positive. If F prime prime is positive, then what does it mean about F? Then F, no. Concave up, right? See? If F prime prime is positive, then F is concave up. What does it mean about F prime? F prime is increasing. Is this helping you guys? Is this help? Okay. If F prime prime is negative, then what does it mean about F? Concave down. What does it mean about F prime? Is decreasing. If f prime prime changes from positive to negative, what does it mean about f? Point of inflection. It changed from concave up to concave down. So then f has a point of inflection wherever it changes from positive to negative. I should change from positive to negative at x equals c, then has a point of inflection at x equals c. I went ahead and added that at x equals c. What does it mean about f prime? It's a max. Because look, I can't even talk. If f prime prime is changing from positive to negative, that means the same relationship for f prime. That means f prime was increasing and then decreasing. So it's a max, not an f. It's a max on. It's a max on f prime. Max, then and f prime is max, relative max. Remember, this is a max on f prime, not an f. Changes from negative to, if the second derivative changes from negative to positive at x equals c, then again, I have f has a point of inflection, has a point of inflection at x equals c. What does it mean about f prime? Min at x equals c. For f prime, guys, make sure that you understand it's a extrema on f prime, not an extrema on f. How do we feel? How do we feel? Oh, okay, you know what? I just got cringe. Yeah, I'll stop. I was trying to sing, but see, this is why you guys can't hype me up when I sing, because then something like this happens. Now I kind of want to delete that from YouTube. Oh, that's a boom, 3 booms. All right. So we don't have this issue about UH Quiz 19 optimization. How a lot of you didn't do it on time, and we're gonna have to take a hit with 90% max credit. I have to, guys, because I already counted it for everyone else. So there was like 6 of you or 7 of you that did not attempt. So make sure you take care of it for 90% max credit today. So here it is. So you guys don't say that I didn't tell you. UH Quiz 13. I was going to make the attempt date today, but if you have other stuff that you haven't done, then take care of it. When's the attempt date on that? Say it so we know it. Tomorrow. And it's due the 28th. Okay, this is the big one because this was counted as a test grade. So the UH Test 1, attempted by Sunday, and it's due February 2nd. That means I think you got like 2 weeks for that. So, or a week and a half at least. Oh, I think like 2 weeks. So we're good, right? All right, guys, take care of business. The video is out for UH Quiz 13 if you want to watch that video. If you haven't taken care of other business, take care of my other business. And we're good, guys.